Boxing King Media in association with Backdoor, Mr. Richard Schaefer. You said a few months ago Dubai could be the capital of fight capital of the world. You put on a media workout today and it's gone crazy with Sonny Edwards and Mohammed WASEEM. How excited are you now for the fight?
Oh, I'm very excited. I mean, what a great environment here at the Irish Village. Great venue as well, an open air venue, the tennis stadium. And somehow these open air stadiums always seem to bring out the best in the fighters. We have one in Los Angeles, in Carson, California. I'm sure you've been there, the Stop Up Center, and they call it the War Ground. That's how exciting the fights are, and that's exactly what I expect here. 2 cards, Friday, Saturday, top to bottom loaded cards, 11 fights on each card, so 22 fights in a matter of 2 days. Some of the best. I mean, you mentioned Sonny Edwards, world title fight, so you have a world champion. With Regis Broger, we have a former world champion who will be world champion again, and the road starts right here in Dubai. With Oshaki Foster, you have a world title elimination bout in one of the hottest weight classes to become the mandatory for Shakur Stevenson and Valdez. Then you have 2 Olympic gold medalists with Jalolov. You saw him work out. The man is a beast. I mean, his legs are like tree trunks. I mean, that man will be heavyweight champion, and you can watch him here early on in his career. And then we have the other gold medalist, Estelle Mosley, making history. She's in the lightweight division. She's the one who beat Katie Taylor in the World Amateur Championships back in 2016. She became amateur world champion, and Estelle went on to become Olympic gold medalist in the lightweight division as well. Big fight for her against the number 2 ranked lightweight girl in the world, and you know, the winner of that fight, which I hope will be Estelle, against the winner of Serrano and Katie Taylor, could be maybe the biggest fight ever in the history of female boxing. So, I mean, it's just unbelievable the kind of... She will, by the way, the Estelle Mosley fight, the first female world title fight in the Middle East, the first time a woman headlines a boxing card in the Middle East. I mean, there's history being made as well this weekend here. And then you wrap this all around St. Patrick's Day. I mean, what a St. Patrick's Day celebration it is from the Irish Village here. We expect thousands of people over the next few days, and thousands of people fight night on Friday night and Saturday night. So really, I think my prediction that Dubai eventually will become the fight capital of the world is gonna come true. And as they say, Rome wasn't built overnight. It takes, you know, event by event. You build it, you build the fan base, but you need to bring good storylines. You need to bring good fights, and people will show up. So very excited to be here.
I think you might have just broken the record for the longest answer from one question there with me, but you've sold the event, so you saved me asking a lot of the stuff because I was going to...
That's what I wanted to do because it's getting late.
Great answer.
No.
But honestly, Richard, like you said there, you put on a great media workout today, and the fans have turned out, and the open arena looks absolutely amazing. And I think the Irish fans are going to love what you guys are obviously doing in Dubai. I'm a big fan of Backdoor. I think, like you said, they're future world champion. I was speaking to somebody yesterday, and they suggested that he could potentially beat all the heavyweights right now if he was put against him. Obviously, he's inexperienced, but do you think he's that good?
Well, I have to say, I've seen his fights. I've seen him for the first time today at an open workout, and I mean, he literally with his punches lifted his coach. He is serious. He is serious, and you know what always impresses me as well. A lot of people don't really look at that. Is the footwork, quick feet. Very thick legs, sort of like reminds me about a much bigger version of Manny Pacquiao. And so I think he's definitely going to go places. Now, he's 9-0 with 9 knockouts, but there's no reason to rush. I think it's a matter, the heavyweight division it's a matter about building up experience, that when you are going to fight for the titles, that you are prepared to deal with whatever comes your way. And I have to say, right now, today, I don't think there's any heavyweight who would beat Tyson Fury. I mean, Tyson Fury sort of like has it all. He can punch, he can seriously hurt you, he knocks people out, he can box, just better than probably any heavyweight I've seen, and he can take a punch. We saw that in the Wilder fight, the first fight, when he got back up. So how can you beat somebody like that? It's like impossible.
So to ask about the matchmaking, because it must be very difficult to match somebody like him. Obviously, you got Kamil Sarwski on paper. People will look at him and go, you know, he's not going to offer much of a challenge. But boxing fans know this guy's tough, and some say he beat Otto Wallin.
Yes, no, this is a serious test. This guy is not going to come and roll over, and that's the thing as well. You have to understand, for an opponent like that to be able to go and against an Olympic gold medalist, to beat Jalolov changes his life. So you have sometimes these sort of like opponents which are big underdogs are sometimes the most difficult tests for these big-time favorites, because these big-time favorites, they have to be ready, and Jalolov better be ready, because it's going to be a hell of a fight. And this is what you need. You know, we don't need like first-round knockouts. Because with first round, I mean, it's nice, of course, don't get me wrong, but if you build somebody only with first round knockouts, how can they learn? How can they prepare? Or are they going to be prepared to deal with adversity? When you knock everybody out with the first punch, what's going to happen when you throw that first punch and the opponent doesn't go down? What are you going to do? Well, I mean, you have to learn that, and you need to matchmake, and you need to find opponents which can take a fighter for a certain amount of rounds, and that is extremely challenging with somebody like Jalolov.
And a quick word on the main event. It kicked off towards the end of the media workout between Sonny Edwards and Muhammad Waseem. Do you know what's going on in the background there with the trainer situation, etc.?
Well, I think they just have a beef, but I think what it is as well is Sonny is like a kind of guy who evokes emotions in people, you know, whether these emotions are when he gave some interviews over the past few weeks with Eddie, against Eddie Hearn, and he obviously got under Eddie's skin, you know. He evokes emotions, and now tonight it was a matter of evoking emotions with the trainer and with Waseem, and sort of like, it's called mental gameship, you know, mental warship, and one who was a master in that was Bernard Hopkins. That's how you win fights before the first bell rings. You get into the opponents and into the team's head, and he's a master at that. And I think he's very charismatic. I think he's a big asset to the sport. He's a very skillful fighter, Sonny Edwards. He can fight. He has the speed, you know, and he talks shit, you know. I like that. I mean, look what I've done with maybe the biggest shit talker of all time, Floyd Mayweather, Money Mayweather. Look what happened. I mean, he became the highest paid athlete, not boxer, athlete in the world. So people, fans like to see somebody. Look, he's still talking over there, you know.
And he's fighting in 2 days.
No, it's just like, he's like, look, he's still talking. I mean, he gets like, this guy is entertaining, he evokes emotions, he gets you talking. That's what it is. He understands. It's not just about making a match between two guys, and then you have the press conference and everybody says, oh, this has been my best training camp, and the other guy says, it has been my best training camp, and I'm so ready, I can't wait for the fight to start. And then you see them the night of the fight, and then they fight each other, and then it's over. That's not really entertainment. This guy redefines entertainment. I love it. I love it. He's a huge asset to the sport, and to get under people's skin, that's what, you know, why did Floyd Mayweather became the biggest pay-per-view star of all time? He evoked emotions, and these emotions were, some people respected him because of his skills, undefeated, taking on everyone. They were his true fans. But then there was another group And that other group, frankly, might have been bigger than the fan group. All those guys who hated him for the way he came across with the money and his personality and talking shit and all that, and they hated him. He evoked emotions on both groups, and they all bought the pay-per-view, and they all made it bigger. And Sonny is exactly like that.
I think you summed it up there, Richard. Last question. Obviously, he wants the Martinez fight. What's your relationship like with Eddie Hearn at the moment? I know in the past you guys have had some back and forward. What's it like at the moment?
I have a great relationship with Eddie. I think Eddie does a great job. You know, Eddie is a hard-working guy, and I really appreciate that. I think he's an asset to the sport of boxing. He goes and he travels. I mean, man, this guy must be like probably #1 frequent flyer miles in the world. I mean, he's here, he's there, he's like everywhere, and he's passionate about it. You know, you see him sitting ringside, you see how he reacts to fights. The man is passionate about the fight and the fighters, and I respect that. And I'm really excited, looking forward to do fights with him. I think there's going to be a lot of fights we can do together, and we're going to have fun with it.
100%. As a content creator and as a boxing fan, you guys are doing great things, and long may it continue. And I look forward to traveling to Dubai to these events, because you get a holiday and get to watch some great boxing.
Excellent, thank you. And I'm going to be next week in Newcastle, so I'm going to be going to Newcastle. It's going to be another great PROBELLUM event. Then we're having one in Liverpool in April, and working on one in London for May. So I'm going to be much more in the UK and promoting. The UK fight fans are the best fight fans in the world. They're passionate about their fighters, and I just can't wait.
Well, we'll see you in the UK next week.
Thank you so much. See you later.